Hey y'all, so since this little booger did not want to stay asleep while I worked, I ended up getting off. And now I'm tending to him and trying to clean up the house because the house is in a disarray. Everybody's been working and everything, and I have to pick up the kid, take the kid to school, take my husband to work, and stuff like that. So I haven't eaten yet, but I'm feeding him. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys about why it took me so long to show him. But yeah, so this is going to be my labor and delivery story. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's run this intro, and I'll see y'all here. All right, y'all. So this is my labor and delivery story. I did not really update you guys a lot during my pregnancy like I did with Journey. This pregnancy was a little bit harder on me than Journey's pregnancy because I was so sick during his pregnancy. My iron was low. Oh, what's the matter, man? You tired? And you need a diaper change, but you want to eat? So my iron was low. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I will recap all of that, but let's get into leading up to delivery. Up to my delivery, basically week before I delivered. Well, no, let's just say this. I ended up in the hospital twice before I had to actually go and deliver. So the first time was a week before I delivered, and I got sent to the hospital due to failing a non-stress test. And I had went to the hospital and I stayed there for about 4 hours before they sent me home. And he was acting right on the monitor, so they ended up sending me home, but ended up having to stay longer for extra observation due to my contractions. So that was the first thing. They noticed I was uncomfortable during contractions, and they kept calling it Braxton Hicks. And they said, no, these look like they have you too much uncomfortable to be Braxton Hicks. And I was like, no shit, Sherlock. But they didn't want to deliver because I was only, I think it's right before I turned 36 weeks. So I was 35 weeks and about 4 days, I believe. So I wasn't quite 36 weeks yet. And then they sent me home. I was still having contractions, still having early laboring. Mind y'all, I've had preterm labor symptoms since 28 weeks with him. He was way bigger than my daughter. At 28, around 28, 30 weeks, he was already 5 pounds. So they was expecting him to be a big boy. So at that point, I was getting induced originally due to my blood condition. And once they started seeing how big he was getting, and they was like, no, you're not going to make it to even 38 weeks. My bag was bulging at 28 weeks. And I was at risk for getting my water broken. Like my water was about to break at 28 weeks. So they immediately put me on bed rest. I wasn't supposed to be on bed rest till I was already on modified bed rest, but I wasn't supposed to be on strict bed rest until 30 weeks. But 28 weeks is when I got put on bed rest because of the bulging bag. By 32 weeks, everything was fine. But then I started having those contractions again, and they were getting closer and closer together, and they wasn't liking that. So again, I was still on bed rest. I wasn't able to come off of bed rest or pelvic rest at that time. And then I ended up being off of pelvic rest for about, I want to say 2 weeks. And then at 35-ish weeks or whatever, no, at 32 weeks, I got off 32, 33 weeks, I got off pelvic rest. We was able to baby dance. And then when I went back to the doctor for something else, they were saying how I didn't have any cervix left to measure on the ultrasound. So they put me back on pelvic rest and told my husband, like, no, it's not happening, Captain. So literally from about 28, 30 weeks, we really couldn't do nothing. Like, we wasn't able to do anything. We did something like that one time at 32 weeks in between him telling me that I was okay from the bulging bag to now back at 33, 34 weeks. I didn't have no cervix. My cervix was very short. I had started to dilate around 34, 35 weeks, but I didn't know that at that point. But I knew that they couldn't measure no more cervix on the ultrasound. So my doctor was like, no, you probably not going to get none until after the 6 weeks. So my husband was so pissed, y'all. And this is TMI, so y'all 18 and up only, period. And, but anyways, so my husband was like very disappointed about it. But he knew that for the safety of the baby, we had to do what we had to do. So now at 35 weeks and 4 days, I get sent to the hospital, failed the NST. They measure his movements, his kicks. They send me home. At 36 weeks, literally 2 days before I had to go into the hospital to give birth. I don't know why this always happened to me. I always go into labor like 2 days before. Y'all knew that it happened with Journey. I went into labor with her around the 17th, 18th. And I had her on the 20th. I got induced on the 20th with her. Hold on, y'all. Let me pick him up. He's finished eating now. And he's tired, y'all. So I'm about to try to burp him. Good job. So, same thing with him. I was like literally, so I was going in on a Wednesday. I was supposed to go in on the 13th, which was a Wednesday. I ended up getting rushed to the hospital via ambulance, y'all, on that Monday. And when I got to the hospital, I told them, like, hey, I have lots of pressure. I'm feeling the pressure. Mind you, the week before, I forgot to tell y'all, I was supposed to wait to get checked for dilation, but I think they checked for dilation that night, and I was already 2 centimeters dilated that night. When I went in for the NST. No, I lied. I didn't get checked until, I don't think I got checked for the NST, or I did. I'm not sure. I have to go back to my vlogs and see. But one of the 2 times that I went, I already had gotten checked. I think I got checked the first time. So I got checked the first time because, around 36 weeks is when you get checked anyway for your first cervical check. But they had already checked me then and did my GBS swab, and I found out I was GBS positive at that point. And so the second time I went in, I was awakened by so much pain. I'm thinking I have to poop, y'all. And I couldn't poop. I couldn't poop. I couldn't pee. I was just in so much pain to the point where the pain was so bad I was vomiting. My mom was like, nope, you gotta go to the hospital. I really think you're in labor. So I got rushed to the hospital via ambulance. When I got to the hospital, they told me I was severely dehydrated. They tried to stop my contractions the best way they could by giving me fluids and just pain medicine for my stomach, because my stomach was in knots. Like, it was hurting so bad. I had really bad heartburn too at that point. And I was still 2 centimeters when I went and got checked, because they was trying to make sure that I wasn't in labor, which they did tell me they think it was early labor, but nobody wanted to admit me into the hospital because I was only 36 weeks pregnant and my blood pressure was good. Baby's heart rate was good. Nobody wanted to do anything. They was like, look, listen, because you're not 39 weeks, child, we can't touch you. We're going to try to stop your labor as much as possible, get you some rest. Of course, they suggested bed rest, but I was like, ma'am, sir, I'm already on bed rest. Like, what? Just take the baby at this point. I'm coming back in 2 days. And they was like, okay. So she went to the manager, well, her head of the floor at that point, and they was trying to persuade them. She was a real nice nurse. I love her so much. She was trying to persuade them to keep me until 2 days because I was in so much pain. And of course, she didn't come back for hours and hours and hours. So I was like hoping, like, okay, maybe she's looking for me a bed. Maybe she's, letting them know what's going on. Like, I was ready, y'all. I was so freaking ready, y'all, to have him. And, y'all, hold on. I'm trying to slide y'all. So I was just so ready to have him because I was going through it. And then they checked to make sure my water wasn't broken. I don't think I got any of this on film because I was just out of it, y'all. Like, literally, to be waking up like that and I'm vomiting, and it was just so much. I did get them wheeling me out, of the house and stuff like that in the vlog, but literally, like, this little boy took me through the ringer, y'all. So now that that's passed and everything, at this point, I'm coming home wee hours of the next morning, basically, because they came and got me from my house at, like, I want to say it was like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. Like, it was still dark outside, but it was mad early in the morning when I went to the hospital. When I came home, it was sunlight. And I was like, literally, like, I'm ready for him to come out at this point. So they made me go see my doctor and stuff like that, but she was just like, I'm gonna see you on Wednesday, because she was out of the office. I did not know what they wanted me to do because, listen, they telling me to follow up, but so basically they just sent me home to labor at home, and then I had to wait until my induction day, which was that Wednesday, which was the 13th. I was so anxious to go in, but y'all know how that went. I didn't end up going in until 2 p.m. I mean, not 2 p.m., 10 p.m. at night. And they was like, they wanted me to wait. I was still laboring. I was still contracting. My contractions started getting closer together by themselves. By the time I went to the hospital, I was having contractions every 4 to 5 minutes apart. And then right before they gave me like Pitocin and all the stuff to put my labor in and stuff like that to induce me, when she measured my contractions, she was saying I was 2 to 4 minutes apart. They wasn't quite every minute yet. They were longer. They were starting to last longer, but they was hurting. But I don't know. I can just tolerate my natural contractions better. Like, literally, I was just chilling. They couldn't even... Only time they realized I was having contractions if I had paused for a little bit But I was still talking through my contractions and everything, just like with Journey and everything. Like, I can say his back labor was worse than Journey. Like, the back labor was so terrible. Of course, they ended up telling me that I couldn't have any Pitocin and stuff like, I mean, not Pitocin, epidural, which I already had knew that. And I told them that I didn't want an epidural from jump. So they already knew all of that. Now let's get to the part where I was pushing. Let me explain that part of the video. So a whole section that I did not record, I jumped off the bed. I was in so much pain. Like, I was telling them, like, the baby is coming, the baby is coming, the baby coming. I even laid flat on the bed and just raised my leg up, made my mama check. Like, I was flashing everybody. My mother-in-law was in there, everything. Like, I was flashing everybody. Like, listen, look down there. Y'all, this baby is crawling up out of me. Like, I can't even feel him at the top of my stomach anymore. Like, I'm feeling him super, super low. Like, I felt like his hand was just out there waving at us. Like, that's how I felt. Of course, my mom was like, no, 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 the baby wasn't coming. The baby wasn't coming. And I literally, y'all, I snatched my mom by her shirt and I said, he is coming. Sorry, Mom. Like, literally, I jacked my mama's shirt all the way up. Like, Mama, stop telling me he ain't coming, because he is. I feel him crawling out. You heard me? So, again, my mom, like, lift my leg up. Then this is the part where I knew he was down there. She took my legs, like, if I can insert the clip, if I find a little meme from Big Mama's house, when she was delivering the baby and she closed the legs of the person, of Pam from Martin, and she told her they don't close. That's how I felt, because when my mama closed my legs, I immediately was like, girl, like, why did you do that? Them legs don't close, baby. Open them back up. Why? And so when she did that, that just really, like, sent me off to the edge. Like, I couldn't sit on my butt. I couldn't lay on my back. The pain got so bad, I was trying so hard not to push. I leaped off of the bed into my husband's arms. My mom was there to catch me. And they were like, get back on the bed. Like, it was a whole mess, y'all. Like, he was running around. My mom was running around. My mother-in-law had Journey, was trying to keep her out the way, because Journey was trying to figure out, hey, what's going on with my mommy? Why? Like, that experience of having my daughter in there was top-notch level. Like, she said I did so good. Like, I just love the fact that she was mature enough to handle that situation, even at 5 years, 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just so crazy to me how everything went and everything. Like, I'm just so amazed. So now he's coming faster. I feel him coming down faster and faster and faster. And I'm just like, somebody better catch him, because so then my mom's like, get in the bed, get in the bed, get in the bed. I'm holding her hand and I'm like, Mama, he's coming. He's coming. And so unbeknownst to me, my mom is pushing the nursing thing. And they had already came in and checked me and everything. The first time they checked me, they told me I was 4 centimeters dilated when I first was telling them, like, I was getting a little bit of uncomfortable. And the second time they came rushing in, they was like, oh, you have a while to go. And after they was like, they checked me and I was like, no. It was a part in my video where I was saying how I was holding my leg and I said, oh my God, he is so low. They had came in and checked me after that clip and I was about 6 or 7 centimeters dilated. Then I was on the ball right before I leaped off the bed and did all of that. I was about around 6 to 7 around that point. But they did not expect me to change. Did you puke on me? They did not expect me to change that fast. So I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. So once I leaped off the bed and everything and was just pulling on everybody, my mom was pushing the button and all they heard was me saying, "Oh my God, my booty hole, my booty hole, my booty hole." So my doctors and them, they had just left out like 5 minutes before all of that had happened, of me leaping off the bed and all that. They had just told me I was about 6-7 centimeters dilated. Literally skipped right over like 8 that fast in like 5 minutes. And my doctor came in there, she was laughing her butt off because all she heard at the nurse's station was, "My booty hole, he coming, I'm trying not to push, I gotta push my booty hole." Because literally, y'all, not pushing hurts so bad, y'all. He trying to walk. I don't know where he trying to go to. But yeah, I was just like, I have to push. I gotta push. Like how he jumping up right there, I felt like that's what he was trying to do to get out of mama. That's what he was doing to get out of mama, fat man. Like literally, y'all. So she checked me and immediately I was 9.5 centimeters. Close, like not even at 10 yet. I was 9.5 centimeters, and she was like, "Well, we just gonna go ahead and get ready," because he was coming down so freaking fast. Like he was like ready to out of there. Like so, she told me to wait. Mind y'all, I had a hairline fracture in my hip and my pelvic bone, so them pulling my legs hurt so bad. Like I was like, why are y'all pulling my legs? And later on I found out that they had to pull my legs like that because the way his head was, he wasn't straight down like this, like how he's supposed to be. He was kind of like catacornered between like my opening and my hip. Like that's how his body was kind of laying. He was laying at a curve, so his head was down there, his shoulder was over there. Like it was just a lot. So as he's starting to come down, he's getting caught in my pelvic, in my hip part, and he got stuck. And as I'm pushing his head out, I'm hearing panic in the room, and I'm like, what's going on? And later on, I found out that the cord was wrapped around his neck. So when she kept on telling me I need to be easy and push slow and all that stuff, it was because she was trying to get him untangled, and she was trying to get him out of there as quickly as possible. He was purple and blue and all of that in the face, so he lost a little bit of oxygen, and they tried not to freak me out. They tried not to scare me, but he was bruised from his head. He had 2 hematomas, one in each eye, and like he had popped a blood vessel, so he was bruised from about here to here, to his lip and his chin. I took a couple of pictures of him when he was first born, but I didn't want them to get out. I wanted his face to heal first, but out of respect for, like my family and stuff like that, they wanted to see the baby. My family was trying to respect my wishes as not posting him before I did. So what me and my husband just decided to do was just to go ahead and post him. And then when I felt ready, I was going to explain what happened, because literally it was traumatic. It was very traumatic for me, for him. He didn't cry when he came out. It took him a while to cry. Literally the amount of silence that y'all saw in that video was longer than that. I just cut it up. So y'all, I'm just so happy my baby is here, because for some person to tell me that I couldn't have a second baby, and then out of nowhere he appears. You appeared out of nowhere, baby. After he appears out of nowhere, I could have lost my baby, y'all. On this journey, I did lose a friend. That hurt too. But I only felt like in that moment, there was no understanding of what was going on with me. I was going, they're going through their own mental battle, but I was also going through a mental battle as well. And I feel like along the lines, because I couldn't be there for them, it came across as me acting funny, but literally I went through a traumatic experience, and my feelings was important in that moment because my whole child could have died during that whole entire experience. I never experienced a cord wrapped around a baby's neck in that manner. And also I never experienced my baby getting stuck in the birth canal. And they did not use any forceps. It was all of me pushing with all of my might when she told me to push to try to get him out. He almost had, she did a maneuver, but he was 10 seconds close to having shoulder dysplasia, where his shoulders got stuck as well. That's where he got stuck at. So he was getting stuck, like he was trying to shoot out so fast that my body didn't even fully dilate. I pushed him out at 9.5 centimeters dilated. I wasn't even a full 10 centimeters. So, y'all, a body can work a mighty thing. Like, he wasn't trying to wait until mommy fully dilated. And so what made me make this video and finally talk about it is because I seen a video of on Facebook about what happens to a baby when they're born really fast. And the baby had the same bruising my son had. And that's what really made me wanted to make awareness about it, because didn't nobody know what happened in my childbirth, they would have probably thought my baby was abused. Like, a lot of doctors had came in and asked questions about his face. After that, they had to put a sign on my door that said baby is okay, bruised face from birth, or whatever the case may be, because they didn't want nobody to come in there and think like, hey, I did something to my baby. Or like, literally the stuff that you gotta go through in childbirth. And out here in Texas, they do not play about child abuse, child abduction. They don't play about the kids, period. Like, you know how back in the day when our mamas could used to leave us in the car for 5 seconds because she running in and running out, and you know the car is still on, and you can't do that. They will lock you up. They will lock you up. They will call CPS quick on you for that and for pets. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy nowadays. And even though that was the time back then, I couldn't leave my child in the car by themselves anyway nowadays, because it's so crazy. People go so crazy nowadays to where the stuff that our parents used to do when they were raising us, we can't do anymore. So that was my labor and delivery story, but I'm so happy. It took his face about a good almost month to heal. Like, I will do a short from his birth to, you know, how his face did and things like that. But this is my baby. This is my pumpkin. This is my sugar plum. But I will come back with another video because I need to update you guys on baby boy as far as his hernia is concerned and other things. But I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. I'm glad y'all sat right here and chatted with me for a little bit. So now get ready to go get some chores done. I need to eat, and I'm gonna watch TV until it's time for me to go get my daughter. So bye.